been looking forward to. Oh, fizzy. What a stressful week. Oh, hey! Hi, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with Wilma Untucked. And I totally am. I hope you are too. It's so much more comfortable. Oh, so we started this episode off, Untucked episode 3 of season 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race, as if you didn't know, by untucking with Team Nina in the Untucked Lounge. And oh my God, you know, they basically, they should have been in the best mood ever. And quite frankly, Nina seemed very pleased with herself, as she should be. Her first win on RuPaul's Drag Race. Here's to you, Nina. Ariel was very pleased with herself. She felt that she had done well with Talky Ganache. Good to you, Ariel. Seriously, she did a great job. Ms. Vanjie, sweet beats, so hysterically funny. She clearly was a the only girl that seemed to be having a problem was Talky Ganache. And I have to say, I think the only reason that she was having a problem is because she wasn't a standout in the episode. Yes, her team won, but she didn't win. She didn't stand out. She literally fell into the middle ground or the background. Even what she was doing with Ariel in the challenge was all right, but nothing spectacular. But what was very funny was that she made it about the whole thing not being up her alley and against her religion. And I'm so glad that Evie Oddly called her out on it. I'm so serious. Here's to you, Evie Oddly. Seriously. Because Talky, said that it was against her religion. She would have been better with Whitney because she was a woman of God. Well, a woman of God who smoked a lot of crack, I'm just going to say. But seriously, I agree with Evie. If Silky had said that out of the gate, then it would have been fine and dandy, instead of her throwing her entire team under the bus in front of Ru, which really is more of an Ariel Versace thing to do if you really want to know. Seriously. I've never seen a bunch of queens more upset about winning a challenge in my life. That whole thing with Talky whipping off her dress to show that she was ready to lip sync. I mean, clearly this is a woman who felt that because she hadn't done well, that she was going to be in the bottom, or maybe the worst on her team. However it went through her mind, she was prepared to lip sync. This queen dressed to fail. And that in of itself, I thought, spoke volumes about where her head was. But it also explained what those white tabs were down the sides of that blue sequin dress of hers. Because when she was spinning down the catwalk, all I thought were these, why, she got zippers? What's going on? No, Velcro. So it would tear away. That was her reveal dress for her lip sync, seriously. But what was most upsetting about the whole shebang, the screaming match, all of it, was poor Nina couldn't bask in the glory of her first win. I'm so serious. But she did have a moment with Ms. Vanjie where, in congratulating themselves on jobs well done, Nina then did her fabulous Vanjie impersonation. I thought she did a great job. Certainly Ms. Vanjie thought so too. Seriously, so funny. And then Team Raja skulked into the Untucked Lounge. And if you've ever heard the expression, had a face like a cat's ass, and wondered what that looked like, that's what it looked like. There was not a happy mug in the bunch. And why would there be? They had been told in no uncertain terms by RuPaul that they had failed on all counts, and that they all had better prepare to lip sync for their lives. Of course, that gagged the rest of the other team, and they were certainly a little more happy about not being stuck in the bottom. Seriously. Somebody who was none too pleased to be lumped into that motley crew was Akira, and she more or less told Vanjie and Talky as much. In fact, she even went on to say that she was a little upset that she was on par with somebody like Plastique Tiara, who had no referencing for pop culture whatsoever. And I agree with Akira. 3 years is a long time. And I have to say, especially with the internet now, if you land somewhere and in 6 months aren't on top of what's the trend and what's happening, that's your own fault. I'm just saying you don't care enough. I'm not saying you need to care, but I'm saying I don't know what rock plastic tiara had to live under when she moved to America, but it must have been heavy and it must have kept her in the dark. Seriously. Honey was another one who was certainly feeling the pinch and worrying beyond worry that she was going to have to lip sync for her life. And so she should. Seriously. So as the rest of the queens were debating whether Rue would have 2 or more of them lip sync for their life, in sauntered beautiful blonde Troye Sivan, and, well, the chatter seemed to die down while they all could swoon. Well, certainly Plastique Tiara swooned. They would make a beautiful couple together. I don't know if she has a chance, though, because Troy seemed to be all up in Akira's business. I'm so serious. He loved her. Loved her look, loved her, loved her. Somebody else that he made mention of course, was Evie Oddly, mentioning that he'd seen her going around painting her Benucci's. And seriously, as I pointed out before, this solidifies my whole thought that Evie was doing that just to advertise. I'm so serious. That said, I have to say, I love that Nina flirted with Troy too, because I'm sure, like me, she has no idea who he is. Seriously. To tell the truth, I didn't even care who Troy was once Guillermo Diaz showed up. Sweet Marie, what a sexy man. He has been cute his whole life. If you haven't seen Stonewall, you should. He does a fantastic job as a drag queen in that movie. But he was also in 200 Cigarettes, didn't say a word next to Casey Affleck for the whole movie. Cute as buttons, I am just saying. But sexy as all get out now. He's a real poppy, I tell you what. And I'll tell you another thing. Between his sexiness and Ms. Vanjie's sexiness when she's out of drag, I think that I'm having a spicy caliente moment, I'm just saying. Or a hot flash. I really don't want to judge it. But that said, I don't blame Talky Ganache for trying to ride Guillermo like a dirty little pony. And I can understand why the other girls were kind of put off by her being her usual self with a celebrity in the room. They were jealous. Of course they were jealous. I was jealous. I wanted to be a dirty little pony rider too. I'm just saying. That said though, celebrity moment as it was time for the girls to go back to the main runway, and that's where the gag of all gags hit them square in the Mushmaker. 6 queens lip sync. The whole Raja's team had to lip sync together, and as we now know, it was poor, sweet Honey who went home. God bless her, you know. I think she is definitely a queen who probably shines brighter outside of a competition. And you should check out her What You Packin' with Michelle Visage, because it's very impressive, the work she did to get onto RuPaul Drag, to make sure that she was there. And I, for one, don't think it was in vain. I just wish she tried a little harder. She just was one of those queens that just kind of landed in the middle there and just kind of bubbled away quietly to herself, did nothing. And you can't do that on RuPaul's Drag Race, God bless her. Oh, well, I just have to say, that was a lot of drama this week, and I'm so glad that I took the moment to untuck for this. And I'm so glad that you joined me. I hope you had a nice beer. I'm drinking Pabst PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon, because, well, that's what Sharon Needles drinks. And that's good enough for me. I'm just saying. So, until next week, stay untouched, because, you know, it's so much more comfortable. And until next week, miss me. Mwah. Seriously. You're so relaxing. It expects nothing from you. Except me.